Hi everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you all how I perform my wash day routine off campus using my mini portable washing machine. Let's go. So first you really want to start with some basket or if you're good with the measurement for the machine, which only holds a small load. You want to start with that, and then if you want to utilize it as a source of measurement to refer back to when you're getting your clothes or your load together, I would start there. So here, as you can see, I have a sheet, like a full fitted sheet for a twin XL size bed. I'm gonna add that in. Then I have a few cloths, wash rags, bath towels, hand towels, and then I'm going to add that in there as well. Now, as you could see, I was shaking them off before I added in here, simply because, again, I do this with the regular washing machine as well. However, I just wanted to make sure extra dust particles and any other like fur, because I do have animals, is off before I add it into this small compartment. Now, as you can see, I put it in my tub, and that's simply because the way that my sink is positioned in my bathroom, it does have a hose. Let me get that. The way that my sink is positioned in my bathroom, if I were to hook them up to the washing machine here, the water would not effectively channel through the tubes into the washing machine, and vice versa, in order to drain. So I put it in my tub, and you'll see how I manually load in the water each load. You can see it does only have a single cord in the back of it. So what you'll do is you'll take that cord and then you'll just plug in your washing machine. And then once you add water in there and everything, it'll automatically start once you twist the knobs up here. So at this point, you have your washing machine in your tub or wherever you're supposed to be washing it. And so now you'll take your clothes or whatever you're trying to wash, and you'll begin to load them in the washing compartment, which is just a large compartment. As you can see, it's a large compartment on the inside right there. Just one big cavity of space, and then you'll begin to load in your clothes. This is the part that I was referring to earlier when I said that I manually add in my water to my washing machine. I fill up this bucket about 3 times, 3 full buckets of water with this pail right here. Typically fills up the container. So now I'm just gonna add in some hot water and go from there. Okay, so now that you have all of your water loaded into the washing machine, this is the point where you go and you add in your laundry detergent and whatever soaps you use to get your loads clean. I use Tide Pods, and what I just discovered, because I am a new Tide Pod user, is if the water is hot enough, I'm not sure about cold yet, I haven't tested that theory, is that if you put them in the water, they immediately dissolve. So don't mind me if they say this on the commercials. Again, I've never really been too invested in Tide Pods. And so then you close the lid, and I put my washer all the way at the 15. And as you can see, it's starting up. Now you can hear it going here, but you can also open the lid. Oh, by the way, I have it on standard. I have my wash settings on wash, standard, and leave spin alone for now. But if you open the lid, you can see that your clothes are going here, see? So at this point, we're just waiting on the first load to get done washing. Just because you saw that the standard maximum wash time is 15 minutes, I actually let my clothes go through this phase twice. That way I can ensure that they're actually getting clean despite the load already being small. And then we're gonna go through some rinse cycles, and then depending on what the material is, I'm gonna let it spin dry. Now, speaking of spin dry, really quick, this is the quote unquote dryer side. This is not an official washer and dryer, portable washer and dryer. That is not what this is. This is a miniature portable washing machine that you can use to wash small loads. You can wash jeans in here, full outfits. You just really have to be mindful of the size of whatever material you're putting in here. So like, of course, common sense will tell you no large comforters or no big bed sets or anything can go in here. But you really just have to use discernment and common sense on what to add into wash. But this is the dryer side, and what it does is you remove that lid, and then it just spins really fast, and it, like the name says, it spin dries whatever you put in there. Now, as you can see, this compartment is not as large as the left washing side. You can only put very few items into this compartment, as well as those items, they can't be that big. And then once you add them in there, you'll place this thing on top of them, and then you'll close this, and then it'll spin dry. And you'll see that demonstration once my load gets done washing. Okay guys, I am back after those 2 wash cycles. So now at this point, you want to drain the water from the washing machine. And so you do this by unhooking the tube right here on the side of the washing machine. There's a hook that you'll be able to hook it back on when it comes time to put it back up, like you see here. So now you're gonna unhook this tube, and you're also going to set the switch in the middle to drain. Now for some people, this next step is completely optional. However, for me, I like to rinse my clothing out of this machine, in this machine as well. So what you're gonna do now is you're going to attach the hook back up, make sure all the water is out of the tube, attach the hook up, attach the hook back to the machine after you've ensured that no more water is left in the washing cavity. And you're going to change the center switch back to standard. Open up the cavity again. You're gonna fill this washing cavity back up with water, and then set your timer back to 15. Now you're just gonna close the lid after the washing cavity is full. And again, you're gonna set the timer back to 15. Now at this point, the rinsing is completely subjective, so however long you want to keep it on here, I recommend no longer than 2 of the wash timers set to 15, so no more than 30 minutes. But now you're just gonna wait for those clothes to rinse, and then we're gonna drain it, and then we're gonna go to spin. Okay guys, we're back and we're about to perform our last and final step of the laundry day routine. Now this is after the second cycle. It's went another 15 minutes, so in total it's washed 30 minutes and it has rinsed 30 minutes. This timer has been set to 15 4 times. So now we're going to drain the water from the rinse cycle. Again, put the tube down on the side, set the middle switch to drain, and all of the water is about to drain off of the machine. And right after this, we're gonna put in a few pieces of clothing into the spin dry compartment. Really quick, I forgot to add this in. Now, after 2 consecutive 15-minute intervals of the first initial washing cycles, that'll take about 30 minutes. I perform 2 rinse cycles at 15 minutes each. That's another 30 minutes. And so once the clothes have been washed and then rinsed, that's when I wring them out, and then I add them into the spin dry compartment. And the max time on that is 5 minutes. So typically, and again, the compartment is small, so you can only add in a few pieces anyways. So that's up to your discretion really at that point. So after your clothes get done washing, you can really air dry them or add them into a regular washing machine. However, in total, it takes me about a good hour and a half for 1 good load. All right, so once that has drained, we're gonna open up our spin dry compartment. Oh, first, really quick, don't forget to change the middle switch back to standard after you get done draining your water off the clothes. So now we're gonna open the spin dry compartment, take out this piece right here, set it to the side somewhere. And now we're going to squeeze out. I haven't tested this yet. And by tested, I mean just putting whatever material into the dry compartment, into the spin dry compartment without squeezing them out. But I always squeeze out my stuff before I put it in there. Okay, now we're gonna load this in and maybe some towels. I'm looking at the tube down there. Gonna make sure I put that hose up. Make sure you do that too, so you won't leave it out. All right, so once you've reached your desired capacity for the, or as much as it can, you know, hold, you see I only put in a few pieces, add in the top of this little top thing, close down the lid, close down that. And now on the spin timer, you put it on 5. Okay, so the first 5 minutes of this first spin dry cycle has just completed. I squeezed out the rest of the water out of the remaining material I have here. And let me see. Yeah, so the stuff is not gonna come out completely dry. This is not an actual dryer. It just spins the material really fast until it comes out a little more than damp, but it's not completely dry. So all you have to really do is let it air dry, or you can transfer it to an actual drying machine. I'm gonna load in my second batch now. This fitted sheet is damp, but it's more than damp, but it's less than dry. All right, we're on to our last and final spin dry load for this entire washing load. All right, so quick update, guys. Those last 2 articles I had were just some hand towels, a towel or so. And so I added them in the dryer and this happened. As you just heard, it will sound like military combat going on. So you can either add them to another spin dry load after that one, or you can just let them air dry or add them into an actual dryer machine. And that is how I wash and dry my clothing as I am off campus. This is how I get it done. Thanks for watching.